You are now listening to the Dad Rules Podcast with your hosts, Mario E. and
Welcome
Kid.
back, everybody, to another episode of the Dad Rules Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mario E. And Kid, what's going on?
Not much, man. Glad to be back.
Yeah, man.
I have my baby girl is here.
Yeah.
She was born on my birthday, man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, she was born on my birthday. So, I mean, going through that experience again, man, it was really, because we planned it like this is going to be the last one, right? So that really, it was really a good experience. And I really took my time and really soaked everything in,
Yeah.
But I'm just thankful, my wife, she's fine. My daughter, she's been doing good.
Yeah, the baby's healthy. Mother's
got
great.
a lot to be thankful for, man. A lot to be thankful for. That's why we had to miss this last week. We hadn't missed a week in a while.
No, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
You ready to get into it now?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Let's go. What you got?
Okay. So today's topic is out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. So I'll kick this one off. So when I think about that, right, most of the time you hear people say that when you're talking about, you may not see someone again for something, or, if someone goes away and then, you refer to them as, it's out of sight, out of mind. And I think about that sometimes, that can be a good thing in some ways. In other ways, it may not be so good, right? So I think about, on one hand, someone could be out of sight, out of mind, and that can be a good thing in that, that mean you good. That person didn't mean you any kind of good at all. They weren't good for you. They didn't help you grow. And so now you might be in a transitional stage to have that person out of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Then also think about sometimes out of sight, out of mind, it can be kind of bittersweet because, it could be someone that meant something to you, or you might need them in your life, but because you're not seeing them on a regular basis, on the daily, you might forget all about them, and that might not be a good thing. It might not be a good thing,
Yeah.
And that just shows that that how sometimes we're so invested, I guess you could say, in what's in front of us by what we see, what's close to us, And like I said, man, that's good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, right? But I just think about the times in my life when, someone has been out of sight, out of mind, and they were truly out of mind, like I didn't necessarily think about them every day. And, I moved away from home. It's probably been about, I think it was about 2014, maybe, no, 2013. So there's been about, several years now. And so I think about some people who I thought I was really, really close with and cool with, that I haven't kept in contact with them, or they haven't kept in contact with me. I haven't really thought about some of those people at all, and, sometimes when you're not around people every day, you may realize, true friendships. And that's no diss to anybody who, I may not keep in regular contact with. It just means, things grow apart and, whatever. But, sometimes, it takes being intentional to continue to have a friendship with someone when you're not seeing them every day, when they are out of sight, out of, And so I can definitely say that about you and, a couple other people who, since we've moved away, we've kept in contact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about friendship a lot on the pod, right? And I think it's you definitely need to have some friends that you can confide in and talk with.
Mm-hmm.
Along the way, in the different places we've moved to, I've made some connections with people, but very few have I still kept in contact with, even after, I'm gone, or after we've moved away from that place. And to me, that just shows you the value of those friendships. And, sometimes people come in your life for seasons, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no hard feelings that I have towards anybody that I don't talk to every day just because I used to back home.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them. It's all love. You see each other. You reminisce and you catch up and do all these things. But
Back to where you were at.
not everybody is, yeah.
Sometimes you just get
And,
back to where you were at.
Yeah. But not everybody, you keep in close contact with. That's just the way it goes. But those are just some of the things I thought about initially. What you got? What did you think about?
I mean, all I can do is speak from my personal experience, and my personal experience with that is a lot of times friends, when they move away or they, there's some distance between you and them. A lot, I would say most of the time, and from my friendships and relationships, they don't keep that contact like they should have. And I will say, just speaking to your maturity in that, and I know you was talking about me keeping in contact and stuff like that, but you made a conscious effort to keep in contact. I think if you hadn't have made that effort, I don't know if we would be where we're at right now. And, I don't want you to take that the wrong way, but you really made it an effort to pick up the phone and call. And I think talking on the phone made our relationship way better than if it had been you just sending me a text. Bro, what's going on? We spent hours and hours and hours on the phone talking since y'all have moved away. And I think that's a huge difference maker. And a lot of times it's not just always just talking. It's like game planning. I mean, talking about the podcast, talking about things we want to do in our lives and stuff like that. I think that's one thing I do appreciate is like, it's not always, we have fun, we joke, but that's not always just the purpose of us talking. We have been able to talk about everything, joke, laugh, but then we were able to talk, in the same conversation, we're able to talk about business and things that I need to do to secure the financial future of my family. Me and you talk about stuff like that. And I feel like we do help each other a lot. You've taught me a lot. You told me, certain things I've said made you think more about other things. That's what a friendship is.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be, I gotta do for you. You know what I'm saying? It should be a give and take, man. And that's even with knowledge. Like, but I just, I thank God for that, because you did. Like, when y'all left, you picked up the phone. Yeah. You picked up the phone, and I had, friendships and stuff like that just fell by the wayside because that effort wasn't made by me or them.
Right.
But you taught me a lesson in that when people move away or whatever like that, if you truly their friend, like, you need to make an effort to pick up the phone and talk to them.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we do, because I don't feel like you really a texter. I think you like to call and talk and hear people's voice. In which I think we're losing that in a lot of
Yeah.
our relationships. From a dad's podcast, talking about dad stuff and talking about our kids, I can't help but think about, you know, fathers that are not necessarily able to be there around their kids all the time and make that constant contact with their kids. And it makes me sad to think that, like, that out of sight, out of mind scenario applies to their relationship with their kids.
Yeah.
If that's not the case, I've seen a lot of cases that do seem like dad is just, you know, moved on with his life or whatever. And that may be because he's tried to make that contact. He's tried to have that relationship. And maybe the door is being shut in his face. And he's just like, okay, I need to focus on my life right now. And a lot of times when guys get married, a lot of times you got to do what you got to do to keep that marriage together that you currently have. And man, it ain't right, but relationships and children and stuff like that you had before that, sometimes that stuff get put on the back burner because you got to do what you got to do to keep what you got right now together. I've seen that, man. I've seen that. And I can't say that those fathers don't love their kids. I'm just saying, it's like, that's why it's important to be with the right woman, because the right woman can change all of that. That right woman can make opportunities for you to spend time with your kids easy. But the wrong woman will make those opportunities so much harder. Because then you got to please her, and then you got to please the baby mama. And then now you can finally get to the kid. But when your wife or your significant other is cool with you, you know, having that relationship and doing what you got to do to maintain that relationship with your kids, that's just one less thing that you don't have to worry about. Not being able to speak for these guys, but that's just how I see it. And I've seen it over the years. But I never want to be.
One other thing I'd add to that,
out of mind with my kids.
Yeah. One thing I'd add to that is, you know, if you don't want to be out of mind, you got to be in sight. And, you know, we may be talking to a broken record to a lot of the fathers that may be listening who are in their kids' lives. But, you know, if you happen to hear this and you not actively in your kids' lives, you know, you got to be in sight. You got to be there. You got to be at the graduations, at the kindergarten graduations, at the preschool graduations, at the 6th grade graduations. You got to be there to help them with homework. And, you know, yeah, I know it may be hard if you got a baby mama or ex-wife or whomever, that may be kind of difficult because you two didn't work out, but you got to make every attempt, you know, and you have to be there. And if, you know, to your point, what you were talking about you and I, you know, the next best thing to being there is talking to them on the phone, you know, verbally hearing their voice, you know. But, you know, man, I couldn't imagine, you know, not wanting to spend time with my kids at all. You know, I'm sitting in the hotel room right now. You know, I don't have my normal backdrop behind me. And, you know, for my current job, I'm having to be out of town for some things. And, you know, I'm not able to see my kids or my wife on a regular basis, you know, as I would want to, you know, and I couldn't imagine not being able to see them for weeks on end, you know, just because, you know, I can't get along with the baby mama. I know every situation is different. I get all that. I really do. And, you know, I feel for fathers that want to be there and they're not able to because of some mess. I'll just put it like that. But, you know, man, it's being there is so important. Being in sight is so important because that's where you develop that bond with your daughter. That's where you develop that bond with your son. You know, you're able to show your daughter, you know, what a real man looks like and how a real man is supposed to handle his business, so that when she gets old enough, she's able to recognize that, you know, from both sides of what it doesn't look like and what it does look like. So she's able to choose the right, you know, husband. You know, you're able to show your son what it looks like. So, you know, he knows how to treat a young lady. And you know, you have to be there to show those things. You know, they can hear it. You know, that's the next best thing if you can't be there, you know, on a regular basis. But yeah, you have to be there. You have to be on site, in sight, you know.
Yeah.
And it's important. It's important, dads. It's very important. Mothers, you know, if you got a good father, you know, single mothers, I'm talking to y'all right now. If you got a father who may not be perfect, because none of us are, yourself included. If you got a father that wants to be in the life, you know, let them be in that child's life, man, you know, because you won't regret it. To me, you're not gonna regret it. You know, at the end of the day, that's still their father. You know, he may not be perfect, he may do this or do that, but you still should be able to come up with some type of solution to where he can see his kids on a regular basis.
Some type of solution. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because every case ain't gonna look the same, like you said. But you should be able to work something out.
Yeah.
Now, I've asked my friends this before. Some of my friends, I would say, you know, did you miss your dad not being there growing up? And I've heard some of my friends say, you can't miss something that you never had. And then I've heard some say, out of sight, out of mind. So you just going on with your life. And I think a kid probably can use the out of sight, out of mind a whole lot easier than a father can.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know. I just don't think I could ever get to that point where it's like, no, I'm going to think about y'all every day. You know what I'm saying? And my love ain't going to change even if I'm not there. But kids, maybe it could be a little different. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that?
You know, I think sometimes maybe a father, if he grew up without his own father or his mother for that fact, and he doesn't feel adequate to be able to parent, sometimes just the mind can work different to where that father may think, you know, can just shut that out and think that this is just how it's got to be and not actually be there and be okay with being, you know, and that's unfortunate, but you know, that may be the case for some fathers.
Yeah.
As far as the kids, I think the kids, you know, especially with their mothers in the home, I think that there's a to have, you know, both parents in the home.
Yeah.
You know, I think you know, it was something I saw, man. It was it was something I saw over Facebook, I believe. It was on one of those social media platforms where like this little boy was sitting at a game with his mom. It seemed like he was at a baseball game. And he said something to the effect of, you know, like he was asking the mom, why doesn't my daddy want to spend time with me? You know, and it was heartbreaking, man. You know, this kid was probably about, you know, maybe 4, maybe 5 years old. He looked like he might have been in preschool, but he had this idea that his dad didn't want to spend time with him, of course, because his dad wasn't around. And I think that for kids, you know, they're very observant, man. And when you were a kid and all you know is your mom, and you know, you seeing your friends at preschool or kindergarten or whatever, in grade school or whatever, and you see them with their parents and you don't have yours with you, or you see these TV shows with, you know, they're showing people with both parents, it kind of makes you wonder where yours are at. And I think not until they become older do they become more callous and just like, well, He ain't been here yet, so I ain't worried about it. And you know, you kind of develop this thick skin, this, you know, like, well, oh well, I never miss what I never had, you know. And
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah. Good points. You got anything else?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, we thank you guys for listening to the Dad Roots podcast with Mario E and Kid. We guys want you to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Dad Rules podcast with your host, Mario E and Kid. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow and like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Breaker, and Player FM. Till next time.